Hey everyone, this will be a quick video on how to stud your RC tires. So what you will need to do this is obviously you will need a tire and a wheel here. I find bead lock is the absolute best for this. Just easy to take the tire on and off. You can do this with a regular glue-on tire. I've done it in the past, however bead lock is definitely the way to go. Also make sure you want some decent foam in there to help the tire keep its shape. And of course you'll need a bunch of screws to stud them with. I'm using 3/8 inch screws here. These are a little bit long for these tires. They would work a little bit better on bigger tires, however I don't have any shorter screws, so that's what I'm using. And as you can see here, I've already put a bunch in these other tires. Now you don't need a drill, but it makes it go a heck of a lot easier if you have one. That way you don't have to sit there screwing them in by hand. So I'll be using the drill. But yeah, that's all you really need. It may be a screwdriver too to take your bead locks off. Let's just get started. So first thing we need to do is get access to the tire. So we'll just take the bead locks off here, and I'll come back when I get this done. One thing I forgot to mention is there's a couple other optional things you can use. You can use some tape to, once you put the screws in, to run around there to help keep them from backing out. Or you could also use a little CA glue on the base of the screw when you screw it in to help it keep from backing out. Now I personally don't do either of those things. I've never had a problem with screws backing out when I stud tires, so I just don't do them and don't think you need to. But if you'd like to, if you'd like an option to help them keep from back out, that would be there. Alright, now that I've got the tire apart, you can pretty much get started on studding it. So what I sort of like to do when I'm trying to figure out the pattern I'm going to use is I'll just go one across from each other, and then, so there's 4 like that, and then I'll do another one in between those ones, and then I'll switch to the other side and do that same sort of pattern. And then I'll just fill in the gaps. I am a slightly short on screws. I've ordered a few more, but I don't have quite enough to do exactly the coverage I'd like. Let's see if I can show. There's a few more bare spots on here than I would like, but overall I think these will be pretty much fine. Anyways, let's get back to studding the tire. So the easiest way I have found to do it, you find the place you want to put the screw through on the tire, and then I push. Let's see if I can get a good angle here. And then when you push on it from the outside, you can sort of see the little flat spot on the rubber on the inside where it is. It can take a few times to really sort of get a feeling for where the screw tip needs to go. But once you do it a few times, it's not too bad. However, you will still miss some of the bigger pads. Now the reason you want to screw through the pads is it's more support for the screw. If you just go through the thinner part, there's a chance it could rip out. That's one other thing I wanted to mention. Is thicker tires are better. The thinner tires, you're going to have a chance of screws ripping out and whatnot. Well, I've never had that happen. It's definitely a possibility. Alright, well let's just place the first screw here. Let's see if I can get a good camera angle on this. Boom. First stud is placed. And we got the second stud. So I just do that, continuing around. Just like that. Alright, as you can see, I've got one side done there. Now I'll go and do the same thing on this side. However, I will offset them. So instead of doing them in line with this, they'll be done here. Alright, so I got all the screws in, as you can see. I just did it off camera as it was hard to get a really good camera angle while I was putting the screws in. Should do a pretty good job. So, if you were going to put some tape over the screw heads, now is when you do it. But like I said, I'm not going to do anything like that. So we'll just go straight to the foam. And we'll stuff the foam in here. You do want to make sure you really do get the foam in here with as few bumps as possible and get it nice and smooth. It can be a bit of a pain, especially with all the screws sticking out. So probably end up with a few lumpy areas like that, and you just want to try and work them out flat. While continually jabbing yourself in the fingers as you do it. Alright, that's looking pretty good. You can see it's looking fairly smooth and flat in there. I say fairly, it's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be perfect, just pretty good. And then, so once you've got the foam in there well, it's time to put the wheel on. So not too much to do here, just the rim in there, and then it's time to put on the locking rings. Alright, here we go. Got the studded tire done together here. So I know these things work great on crawlers. However, I'm going to test these on a faster vehicle because I would love to see how they perform on that. I hope you guys found this how-to useful on how to stud your tires. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them below. Leave a like or dislike if you liked or disliked this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.